The 7 strongest armies of the past. Welcome to our exploration of some of the most formidable military forces throughout history. From ancient empires to more recent powerhouses, these armies have shaped the course of history through their strength and prowess on the battlefield. Let's dive into the stories and capabilities of these incredible fighting forces. Number 7. The Ottoman Empire Army. The Ottoman Empire's military prowess was feared across Europe, Asia, and Africa from the 14th through the early 20th centuries. At its peak, the Ottoman army was known for its innovative use of artillery and cannons, which proved decisive in numerous battles and sieges. The Janissaries, an elite corps within the Ottoman army, were part of one of the first standing armies in Europe and were renowned for their discipline and effectiveness. The Ottoman military machine was not just about numbers, but also about the strategic brilliance of their commanders, which allowed them to control a vast and diverse empire. Unfortunately, towards the end of the empire, the military struggled to keep up with technological advancements and failed to maintain its earlier dominance, gradually losing strength and territory. 6. The Mongol Empire Army. The Mongol Empire is often cited as one of the largest contiguous empires in history, and it owes much of its success to the sheer power of its army. Under the leadership of Genghis Khan, the Mongol warriors were masters of strategic warfare and psychological operations. They utilized fast, adaptable cavalry units that could travel long distances quickly, outmaneuvering and outflanking slower, more cumbersome armies. The Mongols were adept at siege warfare and were not barred by cultural or technological limitations, often adopting and adapting what worked best for their campaigns from conquered people. Their ability to incorporate conquered peoples into their military structure while maintaining discipline and loyalty to the Khan was part of what made their army so effective. Though the empire eventually fragmented, the legacy of the Mongol military strategy has endured for centuries. 5. The British Empire Army. At its zenith, the phrase, "the sun never sets on the British Empire," underscored the reach and dominance of its military. Central to British imperial power were its army and navy, which played crucial roles in establishing and maintaining colonies and trade routes around the globe. Despite being a relatively small nation, Britain employed cutting-edge technology, tactical ingenuity, and a professional standing army to amass and control a vast empire. The British Army was at the forefront of military innovations such as the machine gun and battle tanks, which ultimately changed the face of warfare. However, post-World War II decolonization efforts marked a decline, highlighting the limits of military force in the face of rising nationalist movements globally. For the Roman Empire Army. The Roman army was one of the most efficient and multifaceted military forces of the ancient world. With a combination of rigorous training, advanced engineering, and innovative tactics, the Romans could dominate the Mediterranean world and beyond for centuries. Key to their success was the adaptability of their legions, which could reform, retrain, and re-equip as needed based on the demands of different frontiers and adversaries. The Roman legion's cohesion, discipline, and infrastructure, including roads and fortifications, set a high standard for organizational military effort. The army's ability to assimilate various cultures and technologies into their operations helped the Romans maintain their hegemony for as long as they did. Unfortunately, the immense size of the empire eventually became a liability as defending it stretched military resources thin, contributing to Rome's decline. 3. The Nazi Germany Wehrmacht. The Wehrmacht embodied the might of Nazi Germany during World War II and was one of the most formidable armies of the 20th century. It quickly gained notorious reputations for its blitzkrieg tactics, combining rapid, overwhelming air and ground assaults that caught many European armies off guard. With highly trained and coordinated troops, the Wehrmacht conquered vast swaths of Europe before facing the turning tides of the war. Despite their significant technological and tactical innovations, which included the development of advanced tank divisions and the utilization of rocket technology, the Wehrmacht was ultimately overcommitted on too many fronts. The sheer scale of their engagements and the eventual entry of the United States and the Soviet Union into the war proved too much for Germany, leading to their defeat and the disbandment of the Wehrmacht. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and highlight that bell icon. This will really help this channel out. To the Soviet Red Army. The Soviet Red Army was instrumental in turning the tide during World War II and would become one of the pillars of the Soviet Union's power during the Cold War. Initially suffering immense losses, the Red Army's resilience and organizational reform helped them recover, regroup, and eventually drive back the Nazi invaders from Soviet territory. Their massive manpower and vast industrial resources were used to strategic advantage, producing quantities of tanks, planes, and munitions that rivaled or exceeded those of any other nation. This industrial prowess, combined with fierce patriotism and brutal determination, allowed them to better equip, arm, and mobilize one of the most massive land forces in history. Post-war, the Red Army was central to Eastern Bloc politics, projecting Soviet influence worldwide and being a key player in the global power balance until the USSR's dissolution in 1991. 1. The United States Army. The United States Army stands as the most powerful military force the world has ever seen, with technological advancements and unparalleled logistical capabilities. From its beginnings in the Revolutionary War, the U.S. Army has been pivotal in shaping the nation's destiny and maintaining its global presence. The U.S. military is known for its sophisticated technology, including drones, advanced aircraft, and precision weaponry. In terms of logistics, the capacity to rapidly deploy forces anywhere in the world sets the U.S. apart as a global military leader. The Army's role in significant 20th century conflicts, like the World Wars, Korean and Vietnam Wars, the Persian Gulf conflict, and numerous peacekeeping missions, has cemented its status as a superpower. As defense policies evolve, the U.S. military continues to adapt to new challenges, ensuring its dominance remains unchallenged. Conclusion. In reviewing the strongest armies throughout history, it becomes clear that innovation, strategy, and adaptability to changing circumstances have been the keystones of military success. While individual empires and nations have risen and fallen, their armies have left lasting impacts on the global stage. If you enjoyed this historical journey, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more documentaries and analyses of history's greatest military forces.